of you who've not seen The Chosen, we have a little treat for you, because the scene that we're going to get into now, I sent Rob a clip, and we're going to play the clip, because this clip may as well have been video between my wife and myself. So it may as well be a scene from my own home. So for those of you who have not seen The Chosen,
which one are we doing?
We're going to do the longer one, the 2-minute one, okay. Right? I think it's the first one I sent you, the original one I sent you.
Yep. Okay.
So we're going to play this clip, and I just want to point out some things about women and men, and we're gonna get into this. So, so Rob, do you have that clip?
For all you new viewers, Anthony really does love his wife, and he really, she has him under her thumb. This is just his attempt to look, big and tough. So
hey, put a disclaimer on the bottom the whole time that says Anthony loves his wife.
That, honestly, listen, there's been a couple of comments like from Haley. Let's see, let's go back because I want to pull up Haley. Haley said Anthony hates women. That is absolutely incorrect. I adore my wife. She just drives me nuts. I don't have to tell you guys. She drives me nuts. So, okay. So now what this scene is that we're about to watch is Peter comes home after he's off on mission, right? Peter's off on mission, and he's probably been away for, what do you guys think? 2 weeks to a month, right? Yeah. He's been away for Peter's been away for a long time. He comes home. He's excited to see his wife. Let's roll the clip, Rob. Let's see what we got.
Okay.
No sound.
You're lucky I missed you. I'd be angry you scared me like that.
I missed you, love.
I'm sorry. It's still a bit of a mess in here. I wasn't expecting you till tonight.
I don't care. You know that. Definitely miss this. I'm starving.
Did you not eat enough?
We were fine. We just traveled way too much for the amount of food we got.
So, notice anything different?
About what?
The house.
There's something different?
The table. That's normally there, but I moved it here to create a little more room. And then I moved some things around so more light would come in. And Emma gave me some of her cloths to put on that wall.
Those weren't there before?
What do you mean?
Okay, you got to pause it. You got to pause it. You got to pause it. You got to pause it and put us back on screen. Okay. All right. We got to break this down here. Okay. He's been away for a month. He's healing people. He's exorcising demons. He comes home, and she moved the table 6 inches, and she's like, "Did you notice? Did you notice anything?" No. What are you even talking about? She doesn't say, "Oh my gosh, Peter, how is your trip? What did you experience? You were away with Jesus. Like, tell me about it. He gave you the power to tell me about this mission. What happened?" None of that. No. She wants to know, did you notice anything, Peter? Hey. And you can see she's annoyed. You can see she's annoyed. Now, look.
Listen.
Listen to me.
I got a question for you. Have you ever? No. I'm a serious question. Have you ever traveled extensively or quite a bit, like in your life as you've been married to your wife, where she's been at home for long periods without you?
Just to Atlantic City when his son was about to
yeah, things like that. I mean, not long periods, but I've gone away and come home. I don't travel for work though. I know you do, so you probably have a little more insight on this than I do.
Yeah. I was just gonna say because being especially, I mean, I know she doesn't have kids in here, but it's even exacerbated more with children. But I kind of, in a way, like the man side of me is kind of like, okay, let's not be ridiculous. I mean, you moved a table. Let's not get upset about these things. But at the same time, from my experience of traveling quite a bit for work and being gone for long periods of time in the past, I can see the wife's perspective because she probably hasn't had a lot of adult interaction. She's been lonely. She's been without her husband.
Can you stop making excuses
she's
for this
trying to
woman?
do things.
No, we
makes
got
the
listen.
home
Let
better.
me vent, and then we'll hear. Yeah, let me vent a little.
You don't need a woman apologist here.
We'll hear the feminist apologist after I'm done here. Because here's the
This
thing.
is the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yeah, listen, Jason, we'll let you make a point, but let me finish here because I've come home from work. And listen, here's the thing about my wife. My wife
You coming home from work is different than most other men coming home from work.
Wait a minute. I work. I drive 3 hours home in traffic every day. I'm out the door at 4 a.m. I get home at 7 p.m.
iPad.
That's not what I'm talking about.
All right, just hear me out. I'll come home. My wife. Listen, my wife. His wife's watching. That's the difference. I'm being honest because my wife, she doesn't watch anything I do.
Was that good?
You see, he's getting approval from the missus back there. Carissa's like, good for you, Jason. You stand up for women. Here's the thing. My wife moves furniture like on a daily basis. This woman, she puts her computer that she edits her photos on. She'll move it from the living room to the bedroom twice a week. And I'll come home and she'll go, do you notice anything? No, what'd you do? Like, you do things every day. Sometimes my wife will pick one wall and paint it a different color. And just the one wall, though, because, that's what's in. And
then you'll send us a video of it.
And I'll give you a perfect example. My wife had this bookshelf in the living room. And one day, she's had it for years. And one day she found an identical bookshelf to match it. And so we have an armoire and she has her bookshelf. Now she gets this other bookshelf and she has one on each side of the armoire or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever you call it. There's a furniture. I think an armoire. Sounds right. Armoire. We'll go with that. So now there's a bookshelf on either side of the armoire. They're identical. She has so I come home and she goes, do you notice anything? And I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't know. What did you do? You don't even notice? I got another bookshelf. This is a bookshelf that looks identical to the one that she already has. How am I supposed to notice this? You know when I noticed it? When I realized she stole all my books to fill the bookshelf. That's when I noticed it. And I come downstairs and I'm like, where are all my books? This
is problem one. Mine. These are mine. That's problem one.
Here's my point. This guy, he's just been to war. I mean, he's healing people. He's exorcising demons. This woman doesn't ask him a thing. He comes home and he's like, honey, I missed you. He hugs her. He's showing her affection. The guy's got a million things.
He went right for food.
He doesn't complain. Right. All right. Look. We're hungry. He hasn't had a home-cooked meal in a long time. He doesn't complain about anything. There's not one thing he says, you don't understand the stress I've had. But what does she do? She unburdens herself right away. You don't understand. I did this. I did that. And he's sitting there he's just like, okay, babe. Yeah, no, it looks great. Oh, that wasn't there. Oh, no, it looks amazing. Just trying to placate her, right? So we'll let Jason defend women in a second.
Two things I was going to add, and it's going to put me back in the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
All right, let's hear it.
So one of my comments was going to be before you interrupted my organization of the show.
Pam wants to know why she even had to ask him in the first place.
So I was going to say kind of the same thing what you said. I was like, unless Peter's wife moves stuff all the time, then it just becomes commonplace to walk into your house. And
the funny thing is, listen, today I come home from work.
Well, I was going to tell you, one of the things that I did mention to Krista during the show, because we were watching it, and I said, I don't understand why she's so upset about this. I was like, he's probably tired, and I was like, why is she upset with the nap? I mean, but like I said, on the other side,
well, let's play the rest of the clip because people didn't see that section yet. So Rob, let's pick up the clip. So we'll play the rest of it so people can, because a lot of people are in the chat that haven't actually, like Mark's in the chat. Mark doesn't watch The Chosen. So let's just show this thing play out between the husband and wife. And
Mark's too busy watching old Saturday Night Live skits.
Yeah, right.
You didn't notice anything different? You live in this house.
Sorry, I'm
cut your
exhausted. Looks great.
Cut your hair.
Should you take a nap today while I go to market?
I was hoping to, actually. If I can get a little sleep now. be fresh for dinner, and already bedtime.
A nap now?
No, not good.
No, it's fine.
The most dangerous words ever from a woman.
Yeah.
I was hoping we could. Never mind. It's fine.
Okay. Pause it. You see this? Do you see the passive aggressive? It's fine. No, it's fine. Rob, maybe you could help me out here because I'm a sanguine choleric, and when something's on my mind, I just say it. You know, like if something's on my chest, if my wife does something that bothers me, I'm gonna come right out and I'm gonna say, no, don't take a nap. Look, here's what's bothering me. So Eden's playing this game where she's mad at him, not actually telling him she's mad. He's got to sit here and read her mind, right? Like he's got, okay, you move the table 6 inches, you put a tapestry on the wall. Okay, I'm a bad guy now. I'm a villain. I'm sorry. I just healed a paralytic and I just exorcised a demon, but I come home and Eden's mad I didn't notice the table got moved 4 inches. Okay, I'm going to let that. He's still in a good mood. He's like, no, babe, I just want to take a little nap. You know, I just walked 87 miles from Caesarea Philippi. I'm a little tired. My feet hurt. I thought maybe I could take a quick nap, you know, and then tonight after dinner, you know, me and you can hang out. And she's annoyed that that's what he wants to do. That's what it comes to. She's annoyed that he's been away and he's coming home. And he's like, let me take a quick nap. And then, you know, tonight we can hang out, you know. She's also mad because there's people coming the next day. So we didn't get to that part of the clip yet. But Jason, you want to defend women in general?
No, because I hate this is fine when it's not fine.
Oh, worst thing in the world.
Just say what is wrong. Because, you know, I think a lot of times we kind of pick up on it and we know, but I've reached a point where I'm like, if you say it's fine, it's fine. I'm not going to, and then I lie or I'm lying because then it'll bother me and I'll be like, what is wrong? I need to know.
No. So this is where Pam's wrong. So Pam's trying to make it like she knows her husband's exhausted, so she's being considerate and suggesting a nap, knowing she'll have to wait to hear all the news. Now, here's the thing. She's not doing that. If she was doing that, she would say, no, Simon, go nap. What she did was, oh, you're going to nap? Okay, it's fine.
Well, I mean, this also plays into the dynamics of the marriage and why the church and her knowledge has called for priestly celibacy because she was also missing her spouse. So when she was going to the market, she probably wanted the companionship with Peter. And again, going back to priestly celibacy, if you're on, you know, when you're in this case an apostle, but if you're a priest or bishop, your duties are going to really strain a familiar relationship.
Well, no, prepping for heaven. I also want to say this. This is a very accurate depiction between a husband and wife. Like I'm goofing around on it and I'm saying, well, this is an argument I have with my wife.
Happens weekly.
Yeah, this is like a regular thing in my house. So it's like the women have this thing about not
Anthony didn't even listen to me. He said, oh, he's defending women. I'm going to move on.
I'm sorry, Jason. I was reading comments, but
exactly my point.
I'm sorry. You're 100% right. I should have been listening to you. That was very rude. It's hard to keep up with everybody and you, but the thing is, this is a very accurate dynamic between men and women, and I'm going to give you an insight that I think Jason was saying earlier. So Jason travels for work, and I think Dallas does too. Right, like Dallas Jenkins is off filming this. I don't travel really anymore, but I did in the past. Yeah, quite a bit. So I think Dallas Jenkins is off doing some things like this. He's doing pressers, and I would bet anything this is a scene directly from his marriage. That he's off doing all these things, right? Like he's probably excited. He wants to tell his wife about all these things that are going on, and he comes home. Now, look, Jason was. I'm goofing around and I'm playing it up because the thing is, Jason's right. His wife is feeling completely shut out, right? Like she's this is really what's going on in her mind,
What
right?
Don said. It's fine.
It's fine. He'll give me an attitude later. So Don
absolutely.
is so perceptive, right? Like Don picks up on these little things.
Well, okay, so here's the difficulty.
Can I read comments while you talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's this is a balance again that is hard to find, that I think they show in the show, but because it's in real life. So if you're gone as a husband, traveling for work or whatever, and you come back home, there's a balance because your wife has probably been home most of the time. So she wants to go out and do stuff and talk to people and see stuff. But you've been out, say, for a month. You just want to stay at home, rest, and enjoy your house, right? And it's a hard balance to have sometimes. And I really think that dynamic they played really well in this.
Yeah,
and
they
again,
did a great job of it.
And again, I think it's setting up to what Rob said earlier, the importance of priestly celibacy, because these familial obligations really, really can hamper your ability to attend God's,
There's also
mission
something
and flock
going
and stuff
on
like that
with,
as a priest.
There's also something going on with Eden that clearly she doesn't want him to nap because she wanted to either talk to him about something. We don't know what it is, but she's mad about something, right? And I think what Pam said earlier is I think that she's trying to not lay that on him at the moment because she does know that he needs the nap. But at the same time, she's still throwing little jabs in there, like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead, take your nap.
Well,
but she's going to give him an attitude about it.
Because Peter's mission and work doesn't just affect him; it affects his wife as well. And again, that's the other dynamic, is that his role and mission as an apostle isn't just going to affect him. His wife has to deal with these stresses and difficulties as well, just in a different way.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a chance that there's something major going on. I mean, Eden could be pregnant. Maybe that's what she wants to talk to him about, and she hasn't had an opportunity to yet. And now there's people coming over the next day. She could be
but she never really alludes, I don't think, to wanting necessarily to talk to him, does she? It's more
she seems
just
annoyed that he wants to nap now. That's what it seems like.
I think I get the illusion that she's more in for the companionship than she is wanting to necessarily tell him.
Yeah, she hasn't seen him in a month. She wants to spend time with him. She's sitting there. She's been home for a month. She cleaned up the whole house. She got the whole place together. She moved the table 6 inches, and he comes in and he doesn't even notice it. All he cares about is food and that he wants to do after dinner. Like that's really because that's what men think about. They want to come home, they want to eat, and they want to, have some marital fun and then go to bed. That's all we want.
It's called marital debt.
Yeah, we want our wife to pay her marital debt, and we want to go to bed. We don't want to talk. What do you want to talk to me about?
Have you guys ever heard that Peter had children?
I have never heard that.
No,
I've never heard that either.
No, but look, there's a bunch of scenarios that could be going on. Like, so let's say she's pregnant. Look, we don't know anything about Peter's wife, except we don't even know anything about his wife. All we know is he had a mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law. I was going to say,
that's
we don't know
all
anything
we know from
right.
Scripture. Peter had a mother-in-law.
Everything in the show is completely made up at this point as far as his wife goes.
What they could be going for here is, let's say Eden gets pregnant. She wants to tell Peter, but Peter's always too busy and she can't tell him. And then maybe she has a miscarriage. And now she's devastated. And look, they're trying to set something up. And I think they're going to show Jesus giving her some kind of healing. I don't know any of this. I'm guessing this. This is just, I'm looking at the dynamic of what's going on between Peter and his wife. And I think you're right in that there's nothing that shows the importance of priestly celibacy more than this. I mean, this scene right here showing how can a pastor or a priest tend to his flock and be a good family man at the same time. Your real children and your real wife are always going to take precedence over your flock, right?
And Paul pretty much writes about this as well. And I can't remember what letter, but he writes about it's better to remain unmarried if you can, because you can attend to the things that are God's and not be distracted by a family. And it's not saying that Paul is by no means saying a family is not a good thing, because we know how highly the church holds marriage.
If you read, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, go ahead. No, you go.
No. I was just saying that the church obviously holds marriage and family life in very high regard and esteem. I mean, marriage is a sacrament. So
Okay. So, but St. John Chrysostom actually, if you read St. John Chrysostom, when he's talking about what Paul's saying, Paul's basically saying, look, if you could be single like me, be single. But if you're burning with lust, it's better to get married than sin. Like
that's what Paul says.
That's what he says. Better to get married than sin, and get caught up in fornication. So, but when you read Chrysostom, he's basically like, it's like marriage is like so secondary to the religious calling. It's that's why we say that the only real vocation is religious. The religious vocation, it's you're not called to marriage in that sense. It's kind of like the default if you're not. State. It's the default if you're not called to this higher way of living. So,
well, I think religious life is in many ways the more difficult route, and because of our fleshly desires and stuff like that.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Did a priest ever get yelled at?
I think there's trade-offs to it.
Well, did the priest ever get yelled at because somebody moved a piece of furniture 6 inches and you didn't notice?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
At most parishes, oh yes, that has happened.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, that's what happens when you invite Susan from the parish council to run things. It wasn't like that before the council. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Yeah.
The olden days, you didn't have to worry about that. Now you got to deal with that.
But you see this dynamic throughout the show, because even at the end when Peter goes to the synagogue, I think we're going to talk about it anyway. But
yeah, we'll get to that. So, all right, we really should, because I could spend the whole show discussing
bashing women.
No, the dynamics between men and women.
Oh, not women in general, wives
particularly.
Okay,
but I will say this. I'm being hyperbolic. I do think Peter's wife is just feeling very lonely. She's been home for a month alone. She really is longing for, like Jason said, just some kind of contact and real actual connection with her husband. And her husband, after being away for a month, is like, can we just eat? I'll take a nap and then we'll hang out. And then he's not even, let's put it this way. There's times where in a marriage where a wife will feel that without a connection of a conversation, sometimes she can't feel romance without that. Like, women need way more than men do when it comes to that area.
Well, they didn't have the 5 love language book back then.
Back then, no, they didn't. So, Clement of Alexandria in 284. What was that? That had Peter had children. That Peter had children. Traditionally, Saint Petronilla.
That's really interesting as well.
According to
the Roman martyrology.
Yeah.